had a seizure when I was 4 months pregnant. And I thought that was my first and last one. That thing carried on for a long time. When they say pregnancy changes your body, they weren't lying. So I had my very first seizure when I was pregnant with my baby girl, Artis. I came downstairs. I think my husband was about to cut the grass or something like that, and flash leak. And I just had a seizure. The only thing I remember was coming downstairs, and I opened my eyes again, and there's an ambulance here, and I'm like, what the? It's like I woke up and I was dreaming. I'm like, who are these people? What is going on? And they're taking me away. And they're just like, you fainted. I was like, almost said so. Like, they took me to the emergency room. They had to make sure the baby was okay. The baby was fine. I went to the doctor because I had to see a specialist while I was pregnant. So the doctor, what happened? The doctor was just like, oh, well, how much were you eating? And I was not eating that much. Because, when you're pregnant, like, you're nauseous. Like, I think it was month 4. Yeah, it was month 4. So I guess, I don't know. Whatever, I wasn't eating like that around the clock. It just wasn't me. You know what it was? Everything made me super nauseous. I was nauseous my entire pregnancy. I threw up every day, all day. I thought it was just for the first trimester. Wrong. That damn thing happened from the minute I was pregnant to the time I gave birth. And the doctor did tell me, like, after you give birth, it's over. He wasn't lying about that either. I had a stuffy nose throughout my whole pregnancy. I'm not even kidding you. A stuffy nose. I had heartburn. Like, it was a madness, okay? I couldn't stand it. And I threw up every single day. Everything I ate. Didn't matter. It could be water. Literally, they told me to sip water slowly. Water? Oh, my soul. I'm dehydrated. I'm annoyed. And I'm getting bigger. And I want to slap people. This is what's going on. But anyway. So let's fast forward. Had my baby. Had motherhood in a complete chaotic box. And I found out I was pregnant again. And so, did I have a miscarriage before or after the last seizure?
It was before.
Before I had it? Before
it was, I mean, we were told the heart wasn't beating, but before the seizure. But you were still miscarrying while you had the seizure.
Okay. So, we found out we had a miscarriage. And then I had another seizure. So if I rewind it a little bit more, back in, because this is January, back in I think October, my husband told me I stumbled into our bedroom and I passed out. Again, I don't remember none of it. And so I wake up, there's an ambulance. I have a problem with bills, okay? Because the last time I went in the ambulance, guess who got an $800 bill? Me. So when the ambulance showed up, my baby girl was sleeping. And anyone who's had a newborn or an infant, they know when you get them to sleep, you don't want nothing to wake them up. Because they may not go back to sleep ever again in life. So the ambulance is there. I'm like, I'm not leaving. It's the ambulance was a group of women too. I'm like, no, put me on this bed. I'm going to bed. I'm fine. Get the hell out. I refuse to go. So they were like, okay, we can't force you to go. Bye. If I don't feel good, I'll make a doctor's appointment. I'm out of here. I never followed up with a doctor's appointment. I did not. A month later, which is November, I had, well, we don't know what happened because I think I passed out. And I'm like super sore, and my husband's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know, like I hurt my arm. So that's a mystery. In December, we found out we're pregnant. So we're like, oh, yay. And I remember Christmas Eve, I was eating a sugar cookie. I probably had all kinds of sweets the week before, and probably was getting ready to eat even more sugar. And so I remember something happened to me. I ate the cookie, and then he's like, are you okay? I could not talk. I remember trying to hide it, and I was just like, I couldn't get my words together. And he was like, "What's my name?" And I'm just like staring at him. I think I even laughed. I slightly remember that. That's called a missed seizure. And I remember trying to hide it. That's all I remember. But it took like 10 minutes for me to be kind of gain consciousness again. I mean, I was conscious. I was standing up and everything. But like consciousness as in I can actually now speak. And I'm like, I know your name and I'm at home with anybody. I didn't even know our daughter's name. Like that's how bad it was. So that day, like I was just like, oh crap, and I'm pregnant. I remember I told my friend Amani about it. She's like, you need to go to the doctor. I was like, I know. I didn't go. I didn't go because I didn't want them to tell me I had a problem. Like I'm newly pregnant. I'm just like, I don't want there to be like you need to be on bed rest for the whole entire pregnancy, or I'm already high risk and something else is gonna happen, whatever. I just did not feel like dealing with the doctor. I think it's called, my husband told me it was white coat syndrome. Yeah. So I just did not want to see a doctor. And my girl was just like on it, like, did you see a doctor? I was like, yeah, I am. I'm going to have to set an appointment. I didn't even try. So fast forward, I have a miscarriage. I'm super devastated. I have to go through scheduling to get a DNC. I did a whole video on that. I'll link it below. So, or check out the YouTube channel and it'll be there. But as I'm miscarrying, I have something called a grand mal seizure. That's what was happening those couple months before. Not the one where I'm like consciously awake and I'm looking. It's like I had eaten Chinese food. I put a little orange sauce and I drank Fruitopia soda. And I said, text my homegirl. And I woke up and there's an ambulance around me. I'm like, fuck, here we go again. And I'm like, I'm going through too much. Like, I'm just going through way too much. And my daughter's sleeping. So I'm just like, once again, I'm about to tell them, no, I don't want to deal with the bill. I don't want to deal with this. And the EMT's like, so apparently, and I'm unaware of this, my husband was at work downstairs and he heard like a thump. And so he comes up and I'm like laying there face down. Apparently he had to sit me up. I was vomiting. I had on like a really probably expensive wig because you know how I do my hair, girls. And I got vomit on my wigs. Oh my God. And I'm unaware of all of this. I'm completely unaware. And the ambulance is asking me, who is he? I'm like, daddy, it's a mess. Like the whole thing is a complete mess. And pretty much my husband's like, take her away. She got to go to the doctor's office. I mean, she got to go to the emergency room. Because I can barely talk. I don't know my daughter's name. Again, like this is, I completely black out. So I go to the hospital. I'm still like bleeding because again, I'm miscarrying and now I have a seizure. And this is when the neurologist comes in and she's just like, yeah, this is pretty serious. They did like a MRI, CT scan and check my brain. And they're like, you need to, see a neurologist. And this is, pretty serious. And I'm explaining to her like kind of like the history of this. And apparently I had 2 seizures while I was pregnant. And then 3 or 4 others almost every single month, so October, November, December, in January, so 4. So it was just, all of us all back to back. And so like now it's like, I gotta see a neurologist. And, they put me on, seizure medicine that I take twice a day. And let me tell you, the side effects are just no joke. They're no joke. Keep in mind, I have a 1-year-old. And I mainly work from home. And sometimes I go out and I shoot things like content creating for different businesses and stuff like that. And I'm exhausted. These pills make me tired. They make me grouchy, like literally grouchy. I am not myself. And so apparently scheduling with the neurologist is also another beast because like my appointments are far out. And on top of this, I have to go have a DNC and I have to explain to my, GYN I just had a seizure. And they're all like, what the hell is going on here? And then I had to go see another. I mean, it's just a chaos. But I made this video because that white coat syndrome is no joke. But specifically, I think it's important for us to stay on top of our health in a way. I wish I wasn't fearful of what could be wrong. And I think a part of me was protecting myself. I was protecting my baby because I didn't want to be someone who was sick. I didn't want to be someone who had problems because I grew up with a sick mom, and I didn't want my daughter to grow up with a sick mom. But honestly, the more I avoided the doctor, I could have become a sick mom. What I'm going through is stuff that is manageable with medicine and a diet change. So no more sugar cookies for me. Oh, no alcohol. God. Which is like no overdoing on drinking wine daily, cutting down on caffeine, that type of stuff. It's changes that are needed anyway for me to be me and to be me longer without issues. So, avoiding things was ultimately probably causing more problems. And, so far, I'm almost at a month not having a seizure, and I can't drive because I can't, people who have, continual seizures, I mean, that could happen at any time. Mine didn't really happen at night, but still I could be driving at night. So it's, I have to be either Ubered, or my husband drives mainly, or I stay at home. I have not told a lot of people, that I'm close to, because I don't know how. I will, this is not something I need to be shameful of, or they can all send them this video there. That's the plan. And maybe they'll, we'll go from there. But it's something that I ought to share, because essentially, as I grieve my miscarriage, I think that my baby probably saved my life, right? Because I was going through that process and miscarrying. Had that not happened, I probably would have told that ambulance to get the fuck about my house, because I'm not dealing with that bill. And I would just put it off and put it off and put it off. I got to plan my baby's birthday party. I have other things I need to do. And because I was dealing with so much, I'm like, my husband was just like, nah, she needs to see a doctor. Emergency room it is. So I think our health is super important, obviously, but like the seizures and taking it seriously and being aware of kind of my own mental health, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. I think a lot of what also kept me from seeing a doctor was being a new mom. I'm tired so much at the time, so much of the day, that I didn't have time to make an appointment. I didn't have time to see what was going on with myself physically. I never made time for myself. I never made time for self-care either, because I am literally chasing a child around. And on top of that, I'm a working mama. Stay-at-homes will tell you it is a lot of work. Working mamas who drop the kids off at daycare and you come home, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of around-the-clock stuff. And just having both, it's just, I'm exhausted 90% of the time. And the only time I'm able to work, it's in a small time frame at night when my baby's sleeping, and a cup of coffee awaits me in the morning. So now I have to make the time to sleep, because lack of sleep causes seizures. I cannot be here taking care of my baby and I have a seizure. What's the child gonna do? Call 911? I cannot have my husband panicking every time he leaves the house that something's gonna happen to me, especially if I'm home alone with our kid. So it's just have a lot to work on health wise, change wise. I have a one of those little small treadmills. So I said, all right, I can give myself as much as I can, like at least 30 minutes a day or every other day to work out, right? At least I can get up to 4 times a week and do that. And I'm trying. And we've definitely changed a lot of our diet, particularly with sugar. I'm doing more research on that as well, like on how to balance dealing with epilepsy, seizures, diet, sugar, sodium, that type of stuff, so I can be healthier for myself and my family. As I also await for my neurologist appointment, because that's like months away. Just pray for me, y'all. This is a process. It is a scary process, and it's a very emotional process, particularly with the medicines I have to take. If anyone was wondering, I take Keppra. And the side effects I'm not a fan of at all, but it's what's going to keep these seizures from constantly happening. And I don't want them to, because like at some point it was like, if it was every 6 months, then, it's every 3 weeks. So wait, I ain't got time for all that. No. I need this to stop. So I'm going to keep taking the Keppra, change my diet, work out more as I wait for my neurologist appointment. And I will keep you posted on this. But anyone who's going through anything like this, like, drop a comment, leave me some tips on like how to deal with this. This is a lot, and it's new for me. And on top of this, I got a 1-year-old. So thank you for watching the video. If you like what you see, you know me, hit the subscribe button. I will talk to y'all soon. And don't forget to check unimac.com.